This is a 14,000-year-old story told in Leicester and clay. Erosion, till, and deposit. Holes ripped in the earth, and drips to drops to creeks to rivers to lakes. To better understand the people who lived here, we have to understand here. The glaciers of the last ice age deposited finely ground sand and clay through south-central Minnesota and Carver County by the process of glacial till. Leicester, the state soil, a classification like loon, our state bird. Leicester is a rich brown topsoil full of healthy biological decay. Below that, a clay loam, which when processed can be used to make pottery and other clay goods. As we get deeper, broken bedrock divides the clay from the true bedrock, in some places hundreds of feet below the glacial till. On display at the Carver County Historical Society is a fragment of wood estimated to be 14,000 years old. The glacial push and retreat deposited this fragment 18 feet deep into the clay. This piece, speculated to be a type of spruce, survived according to the sign at the CCHS by being below the water table, out of reach of oxygen. On the 1880 Carver County plat map, there are approximately 118 marked bodies of water, not including rivers or streams. The Department of Natural Resources lists 96 lakes on their lake finder. Did you catch that? There may be a few reasons for this change. Firstly, the surveyors may have marked any unpassable body of water they came across, which is likely. In that same vein, the criteria to be counted as a lake may have changed. The bodies of water could have been drained or filled for agriculture. Environmental changes or cataclysm may have changed the rest. As the Dust Bowl was ravaging the southwest Great Plains, Minnesota was feeling the heat. In the late 1920s, hot and humid summers made a change to hot and dry. Aerial photos show a dramatic decades-long drying event. The contrast between these two images is clear. Lake Waconia was shrinking, and some farmers took the opportunity to grow crops in the uncovered land. I did want to get footage of this exposed cliff on the east shore of Lake Waconia, but I failed to charter a boat. The geography we see now isn't how it's always been. Thanks to the 1880 survey, we can see Carver County spotted with lakes and flanked by the Minnesota River, with western Carver County being flatter plains and eastern Carver County being deciduous forest. The climate in the 1880s and 1890s is harder to track down, needing to rely on personal accounts. Wait, Fort Snelling? Thank goodness for Fort Snelling. The year 1890 at first glance appears to be comfortable. Averages of 1890 are January, 10.8 degrees. June, 69.2 degrees. October, 44 degrees. Obviously, the range of those 3 months that 1 year does not show the trend of climate, but it can give you a glimpse. Here are those 3 months stacked up against 2020 through 2023. Pause the video for a closer look. So much of our surroundings influences our culture, our language, traditions, and customs. It wouldn't be so cold if it weren't for that darn wind. It's not the heat, but the humidity that gets ya. Catching crappies? Yeah, bud. Don't you know it? And so on. Shine on, you crazy diamonds.